and welcome to the Book Bunch. My name is Sam. It is so great to have you guys here for another video. Today we are doing a reading vlog of Tress of the Emerald Sea, which is Brandon Sanderson's newest novel. The next newest one comes out in just like a month or two, I think. So I'm trying to read this one while I can. Mine just arrived in the mail last week, and I've got to say, so far it's going pretty well. I have just started part 2 and so far I am loving this. So this book is a standalone in the Cosmere universe that Brandon Sanderson has created. This story follows this girl named Tress, or at least that's what she is called, and she is in love with the Duke's son. His name is Charlie, and he loves her back, but they are kind of forbidden to be together because she's poor and he is the Duke's son and is expected to marry. So he has been pretending to be the gardener instead, and she knows obviously the truth, but she's been playing along and she absolutely loves his stories, and their romance is very sweet. This is definitely a cozy novel for sure, at least so far. If you like cozy fantasy or a bit of romance, this one is definitely for you. And yes, we follow them as they want to be together but can't. And Charlie's father ends up sending him away to go marry off with a princess, but he promises Tress that he will not get married and that he will come back for her. And he's going to do anything he can to bore all these princesses so that none of them want to marry him. So he goes off, and Charlie does a successful job, and as he visits each princess and bores her, he sends Tress back a cup that is very unique because she collects cups and a little letter telling her how everything is going. And it comes to the 5th cup and nothing arrives, and a year goes past, and she is very afraid that maybe he has moved on, and she gets told that the Duke is coming back to town with his son and his with his heir and his heir's bride, and she is heartbroken. But then when they arrive at shore, the heir is not Charlie. Charlie is nowhere to be seen. And so she finds out what happens to Charlie, and basically Charlie's father was so sick of Charlie not doing his duty that he sent him off to the sorceress's waters, with the guise of like, oh, he's gonna go marry her or possibly go marry her, but everyone knows that that is certain death. And Tress is absolutely devastated. She tries to find a way to help Charlie, but she cannot, so she decides that the only person that can help Charlie is herself. So now she has to try and find a way to get off her island, which she's forbidden to leave, and go and find Charlie. So that is where I am up to in part 2, is her trying to find a way off the island. And yes, it is very like, the voice is very unlike Brandon Sanderson, but still awesome read. I'm loving the vibes. It's very good. And it is meant to be written by Hoyd, who is a big character in the Cosmere universe. So it's meant to be written in Hoyd's voice, and it is quite funny and quite sweet, and I'm definitely enjoying the whimsy of it all. So that is so far. just had a little chuckle to myself about a line in this book. It says, a tree-like burst of vines exploded into existence inches away from Tress, more twisted than a librarian's love life. Trust me, they're a strange bunch. So random. But funny. This world is so interesting too, guys, because so the island that Tress is on is like this black rock stuff that basically can't grow anything, and the inhabitants aren't allowed to leave except for like the royalty, basically. And then the rest of the world, there's other various lands, most of them much better than this island that she lives on. And then in between them are these different like oceans or seas, and they're made out of this like spore stuff, and some of it's made out of crystal. And there's this thing that they call the seed, which is the the world naturally produces at random times, like might be days at a time, months at a time, weeks at a time, hours at a time, these bubbles that fluidize the spores and cause them to create waves so that these boats can like sail across these oceans. And the spores are super deadly, especially if added to water, but they can use salt or silver to like stop the effects of the spore and kill them off. But at random times, these bubbles, this seed, will just stop for a period of time. And again, it's super random, so they don't know how long they'll be stopped for or not. And all the ships just immediately stop as if they've hit land. Super interesting concept, because these ships that we're currently reading about are in a fight, and like things weren't going well, and then the sea stopped all suddenly, and now these boats are like trapped near each other, fighting each other. And so it's a really interesting concept to have in this world. I'm really enjoying it.
So, Hoyt is describing the crew on the ship, and he is saying that there's too many people. So he says, I'm not going to ask you to remember them all. And I said, because I don't remember them all. Therefore, for ease of both narrative and our collective sanity, I'm going to name only the more important members of the crow song. The rest, regardless of gender, I'll call Doug. You'd be surprised how common the name is across worlds. Oh, some spell it Doug, D-U-G, or Doug, D-U-H-G, but it's always around. Regardless of local linguistics, parents eventually start naming their kids Doug.
94 pages in to Tress of the Emerald Sea, and there is a nod to Mistborn. There's a Kendra. That's so interesting. I can't believe that a Kendra left the Mistborn world and is hanging out with Hoyd. But anyway, that's just a little fun nod to the rest of the Cosmo for you guys. Hello everyone, update time. I have just over 100 pages left in the book, and so I thought I would give you guys a proper update. So what is happening? We have Tress going on a boat. Like, most of this is actually her in a pirate ship, which is really interesting because I didn't know this was the direction it was going to go in. My daughter in the background. And she just noticed I turned the camera on and wanted to say hi. But yes, so the most of this book has been on a pirate ship, and it's because so she's trying to get her way to Charlie to hopefully save him, but she has no idea what she's doing. And the ship that she was on, escaping her island, it got sunk by these pirates, and she was the only one to survive because she basically, when the water had done that stilled thing, she ran across it to the other ship and climbed on board basically, and she got straight to work so they didn't kill her. And yes, she's kind of become friends with the crew because she's overly empathetic, and she is trying to help them because most of the crew are pretty good guys, while still trying to find a way to save Charlie. So that's kind of where we're at now. Things are getting really bad for the crew because they are entering very dangerous waters where there is a dragon who is very bad. So yes, we're going to see how that goes, but I'll check in with you guys soonish. Really do like how Hoyd talks in this. Like the way he's narrated it, he's kind of like put in his own little bits to like explain certain things in the story or talk about things about the worlds, or just, I don't know how to explain it, but there's just these added little bits that I really like being in Hoyd's voice, and it's quite good. I definitely recommend this story as a whole. It's definitely so good. I can't wait to finish the last 4 pages. knew it. Not good. I knew it! It's in the stories, guys. It's in the stories. Pay attention to the stories. Hoyd. He's just the best. Go read it, guys. If you like cozy romance or pirate stories, definitely go give it a read. It is a standalone in the Cosmere universe that Brandon has created, so you don't need to read any of his other books to read this one. Although knowing about Hoyd would be helpful, it's definitely not necessary. So definitely go pick it up. 5 out of 5 as always from Brandon. I love his stories and they are all so different. So if you don't like his writing style for one particular book, that doesn't mean you won't like some of his other stuff, because he writes so differently every single time. It's like a completely different person that's written it. The only thing that I would say is similar throughout all his books is he puts these tiny threads, lots of them, through the story. And if you're paying really close attention, sometimes you can pick up where that thread is going to lead. Sometimes you might just be right. And yes, I've read many of his works, so I finally think I've figured out how to work out some of the spoilery bits, but it's still 100% good, and I definitely recommend it. If you like books with really interesting worlds as well, definitely pick this one up. Loved it. Loved every moment. I can't really say too much else because it'll spoil it, but definitely go check out Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Thank you guys for watching this vlog with me and reading it along. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye!